up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's The Frisco Report, Wednesday edition. Got my trusted co-host and cohort, Mike from Cowboys Corner. What's going on, Mike?
What up, Joe?
What's
Hope
up,
all is
everybody?
well.
Shout out to everybody in the chat box, everybody watching this on the replay, man. We can't do this without you. So thank you very much, everybody that watches us here, our loyalist of loyalist fans. And shout out to you guys, man. We're going with the draft cap tonight. It's a beautiful cap. I love it. Mike's got his. We had fun that night, Mike. Remember that?
Hey, that was a good first round stream. That was a fantastic first round stream.
Yeah. That was a hell of a first round. If you guys were there with us, you guys, you know, we had a lot of fun. We had some monster giveaways, and I think we're going to try to do it this year again. We'll figure some things out here, but I have another monster giveaway. So last year we gave out the Diggs autograph, which has become huge because he's such a superstar now. The autograph jersey, the Jay Novacek autograph, obviously, and what was the other thing? Was it a Diggs helmet?
It was a mini helmet of some sort.
Yeah, I think it was a Diggs mini helmet autograph. So yeah, it was fun. Nevertheless, guys, the first round we got our guy Michael Parsons. Mike, we're going to lead off with the defense here. We're going to jump right into it here. We got Washington. This is all hands on deck, all seriousness. And I've been calling this the NFC East tournament. All the matchups are happening now for all of us. The main players, the Cowboys, Washington, maybe Philly. I think the Giants are out of it. They're just going to play spoilers, possibly. Try to give some of these guys some losses. But for us, our first matchup here with Washington, Mike, is this, in your opinion, a game that the Cowboys have to show up and show that they are contenders? Can they lose this game and be okay? Like, what do you want to see from this game, Mike?
I want to see consistency, Joe. Something that we haven't seen in almost a month and a half is sustaining success and keeping that success, right? I don't want this to be Atlanta Falcon game where it's 43-0 at the half or whatever it was, right? I want to see consistency on the defense side of the ball, who's coming off 4 interceptions against the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, getting 4 interceptions against Heineke might be a little tough, but he will throw you one, right? Forced fumble, something of that sort from this defense, Joe. But consistency, sacks, success. Can you handle success? This team's young. Can they handle success? How does Mike McCarthy manage that? And what does he give the message to these guys going into this game? Every game from here on out is a must-win game until we clinch the NFC East.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I say. It's do or die, do or die. The frauds. Who's fraud here? Is it the Cowboys? Is it Washington with their 4-game winning streak? We're gonna see somebody's gonna be a fraud here. Okay, that will be discovered in this game. All right, for me, Cowboys need to come out here and win in a convincing way. Okay, I know we talk about win. I'll take a win here and there. No, I want to beat these guys up. All right, if we're gonna be it, we need to be it and act like it. All right, let's dominate these guys. I know it's gonna be a good, it's gonna be a close game, but you gotta put these guys on notice. We've owned them for the last couple of seasons, and we can't change that. Here with this year with them, closing in on us. We can't deny that. They're on a little bit of a winning streak there. All right. I'm not the guy or the fan who says, "Oh, we don't blow these guys out," or they're no good. It's Washington, they suck. I'm being realistic about this. I think it's going to be a good game. They are going to be shorthanded, which we have had our our share of that, Mike. So the title of the thumbnail was, "Does 3-2 get you the title? Does that get you the NFC title?" And
It
I'm
does.
talking about I'm talking about these next couple of games. So if we're talking 3-2, Mike, does it get you the NFC East title? And do you think that's realistic, or do we do better than 3-2, or
I think
worse?
we could do. I think we could do better than 3-2. My bold prediction is pinned on Twitter, Joe, and the Cowboys. I have them sweeping the NFC East in my bold prediction for the year. I'm not changing that. I'm not changing that. I think we can go 4-1 here, with the exception of the Cardinals game. But that's going to be a measuring stick, right? We had measuring sticks against New England. We had a measuring stick game against the Chiefs, and we were 1-1 in those measuring stick games, Joe. The Cardinals game, I think if they can win that game, I'm not looking ahead, right? We got a division opponent here, but if we can, depending on Cardinals, they're slated to be number 1 seed. Will we even see Kyle Murray there? Maybe for a half or whatever the case might be. But I have the Cowboys sweeping the East, the opponents, and I still stick to that.
Very bold indeed. I think, and I did a video a couple of weeks ago saying that this is a 5-6 loss team. Right now we're sitting at 8-4. If we do 3-2, that kind of fits into what I think this team is. This is the second year of Mike McCarthy. I expect us to get to the playoffs, but there's still a lot of gaping holes on this team and areas where they need to improve on to get to that next level. Not to say that we can't get there, but we're on the upward trajectory. Defense has improved, offense. You missed a lot of players and instability there, so that's kind of. But they're still pretty high up there. So, 3-2. For me personally, I think they're going to split the Washington games. That's why for me, if we lose that game, on Sunday, it won't be like the sky's falling for me. All right, because I think you're still in it, but you have to run it the rest of the way. And I think that that Cardinals game, where are the Cardinals going to be? Do they have it clinched up? Do they have the number 1 seed clinched up? Like I said, maybe we don't get a full blast team. Maybe they half-ass it. We sneak out a win there. But if not, if it's a full blast Arizona team with Cowboys, that's going to be a good matchup, like I said, Mike. But I think on this stretch, 3-2, and I think it's enough to get the clinch to the NFC East title.
Well, here's my thing. Great points, Joe, but here's my thing here. We opened the show up with, can they go give us a convincing win? And if they drop this game, look at the game. We should have beat the Raiders. We should have beat the Broncos. So many games we should have won that we've lost, and we should have beat Tampa Bay, right? Cowboys beat themselves. So if we drop this game to Washington, and Washington keeps winning because they're a hot team, all right, then we have to do the thing that I hate the most, Joe, at the end of the year. If so-and-so loses, such and such ties, this team wins, that team loses, this team, then the Cowboys are clinched the East. I want to take the East, Joe.
Yeah.
If you want to prove yourself convincingly that you deserve that NFC East title trophy in the facility at the Frisco Star, you can't drop these games.
Yeah. No, you can't. You really can't trip up. And I think the NFL, whether you like it or hate it, I kind of like that they did this little tournament. I've been calling this the NFC East tournament for a couple of weeks now, and now we're here, because it's a battle royale. Good thing that we have this lead, because I think, if you do trip up, then it's going to get a little interesting here. But I'm with you, Mike. You got to take the win. You got to take the East. Don't have it where you're depending on teams. That's what this shirt is, right? Take down the East, right? This is one of my shirts in the merch shop. Take down the East, and let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take these guys down, and let's win it outright. This shouldn't be. What do they call it? Scoreboard watching or whatever the hell. I think that's what they call it, right? I don't want that to be us. We're scoreboard watching, like, are we even going to get in? I clinched the NFC East, and then that's that. Because I feel that if you do that, you're in the dance, right? You're in the dance, but I don't want to trip in there either. I don't want to like stumble into the dance because that's not good either. I want these guys to really turn it on here. You know what I mean? And I think it starts here. But Mike, let's talk about how I think this can happen. It's very, very possible that we do whip these guys. Maybe we do come out here and we totally whip that ass. I mean, Logan Thomas is out, their tight end, right? Montez Sweat is out, which is huge. That is huge. He gave us fits. That guy, he plays the Cowboys really well. We know Chase is out. Chase Young, he's out. So really, it's about their backup ends, but they still have that real
they got good
dominant
depth.
middle.
Yeah.
They have that good dominant middle, Mike. So tell me about that. Do you feel good about that?
I wish we were playing them at full strength because I keep hearing and seeing and reading, that Cowboys are going to be full strength and that there's no excuses, right? So if we beat them not at full strength, there's still going to be a piece in the back of my mind is when the football team's not at full strength, or if they was, how close would this game would have been, right? So Cowboys are coming in full strength. Washington isn't. So we have to take advantage of that. This is football. No one feels sorry for you. No one felt sorry for us when Dak Prescott went out in week 5. No one's going to feel sorry for the Washington football team because they're missing some key players. No one felt sorry for us when we were missing our head coach and Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and Tank and Gregory and Neville Gallimore, right? So they got to go in there and just put it to them, knock them out of their misery, knock down their confidence so they can start doing what the football team does, and that's lose football games.
Yeah. Lose football games. And the other thing that I like about Washington in our favor is the quarterback turns it over. You know what I mean? He's like a reckless. He's kind of reckless with the ball, right? He kind of will force the ball and make bad decisions with the ball. I think that's one of his bad traits. Talking about Heineke. So that's the case. We definitely have ball hawks that are good after it. You know what I mean? You got Diggs, obviously, Brown, who's had a pretty good neck for the ball, for the most part, and Jaron Curse. I mean, we have a lot of ball hawks that'll get after that ball. You know what I mean? So, but Mike, the other exciting part for us, for fans, that should give us some confidence into this game is you're getting some really good reinforcements. We're hearing that DeMarcus Lawrence, he's going to have another game under his feet. He came out the gates hot. I mean, cannons blazing. He came out really badass. But Randy Gregory and Neville Gallimore, they're going to practice, this week, and they're going to see where they're at. But all expectations, I think, are that they're going to play. But, Mike, if you get Gallimore and Randy Gregory for this game, how much more confident do you feel about winning this one?
It's a lot confident if they have success working with each other. There's not a lot of chemistry this year with Neville Gallimore, Tank Lawrence, Randy Gregory, Oso Digizua, Carlos Watkins, Micah Parsons, right? So that front 7, they got to know their assignment. They got to understand the assignment, and they got to play for one another and work with each other. And they can't get greedy when they run their stunts. If you run a stunt and it's set up for Gregory to get the sack, run the stunt right and let Gregory go get the sack, and that's for anybody who's running a stunt, right? This is the Dan Quinn defense. They run stunts galore. Rod Marinelli 2.0 revamped with all this talent, right? So they got to they just got to play for one another, and the confidence is there if they can do that and not get greedy. Go after the quarterback 100%. If it's there, take it, but don't make it a cluster where everybody and their mama's able to pick you up. Go out there and go get Heineke.
Yeah. That'll be the test. How they line these guys up. But I think if you get at least one of those guys, maybe you get both. If you get both, that's a bonus. But if you get just one of those guys, who would you prefer, Gallimore or Gregory?
Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
Because there won't be no rust there. Gregory's played this year. No knock on Nobel Gallimore, but Gregory's already has some feet underneath.
Yeah. I know Gregory wants to get more sacks under his belt. He's in his contract year. 5 sacks, that's not going to cut it. If he's going to want some leverage, he's got to start stacking those sacks and forced fumbles. So maybe you get a big boost in that regard from him. So let's see how it is, man. Because I think if this defense, wins in the trenches, because this is going to be about the trenches, right, Mike? Which defense is going to stop the offense? I think is really what's going to come down to. Who can execute their offense better? Is it going to be the Cowboys or is it going to be the Washington football team, Mike?
Mario Flores made a good point in here, talking about our offensive line. He said the middle of Washington D-line is still elite. Dallas O-line is still shaky in the middle and has caused problems, Joe. And if the offensive line, and it's not even coming from Tyler Beatis, who we were harping on the first half of the season, right? Mm-hmm. It's coming from McGovern, and it's coming from that right side, La'el Collins, who had a really good game last week, okay? The McGovern, pick your corners, right? We wanted McGovern in there. We wanted to see what we got, but we got a better shot with Connor Williams playing left guard, and that camaraderie with La'el Collins with Tyron Smith and with Tyler Beatis there at the center position, right? They got a lot of continuity there. That's a word Mike McCarthy will throw around. If this offense can get it together and gel and mesh and be the offensive line to get the running game going, be the offensive line to get Dak going and make Dak feel comfortable, Joe, the Cowboys offense in the trenches can beat the Washington game. It all depends on how in sync they are. Cowboys on the defense side of the ball, Micah Parsons, Lawrence, these guys, go get them. Go get that quarterback. Get him off his feet. He's a runner. He can run the ball. Keep him contained. Make him shaky. And Cowboys defensive line, I think, can win this, but it could be a tie if the offense keeps having those flaws on that line.
No. Yeah, no, that's what it's going to be, Mike. It's do they reinsert Connor Williams? And if you do, you're going to get penalties from it. But I think we've seen what Connor McGovern has done, and I think that I don't know, man. I don't know that I feel very comfortable letting Connor Williams walk now because the running game has suffered immensely. It just has not looked as good, especially with Zeke. And we know Zeke's banged up here and there, but still, it's been weeks before even Zeke was dinged up. So that do they do it? We know that this offensive or this staff can be kind of hard-headed, to say, they like their guys, you know what I mean? And the right side, I've been saying that Steele and La'el are kind of the same player right now, you know what I mean? La'el's not, he hasn't separated. He's just, the hip is still stiff. You still see some of the stiffness. He did have a better game, but with that, I think you're okay with either Steele or La'el at the right side. But that guard position is really the what they got to get fixed. And I don't think they're physical enough with McGovern up there, which is crazy because a lot of us were calling for, a change there because we're tired of all the penalties and, Connor Williams still gets mauled here and there. He's a bigger player than McGovern, but he still gets mauled here and there. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with that, Mike. But if they establish that continuity, like you said, I think, that's the biggest part. Like you said, let Dak feel comfortable picking apart and manipulating that field, you know what I mean, where he's not always on the run. And we kind of talked about this offline, Mike, about Dak is not using his legs anymore. And obviously, we know what happened with the horrific injury. And is this him, just taking upon himself to not want to run because he's afraid to get hurt? Is he afraid to strain the calf again? Is it the coaching staff telling him not to run? Like, what needs to change? I feel like Dak needs to reinsert that element. He used to be a dual threat quarterback. This year, he really hasn't been a dual threat. He's been, almost, I would say 90%, 95% pocket passer this year. Mike?
Yeah, I think the times that you've seen Dak take off running, the defensive tackle was breathing down his neck and was able to get him before he was even to get the first step, the first 4 steps.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I think it's a confidence thing when it comes to that calf injury. You got to think we had the labrum issue, and then we had the calf issue. So I don't think Dak's confident in that because he's been under duress since he's came back from that calf injury with poor play from the offensive line, right? So I think once Dak is able, Joe, to run at least an 8-yard and slide, I think that that will keep building that momentum on that and sustain confidence in the calf injury, sustain confidence in the offensive line, the running backs, things of that sort. So I want Dak to run more. It's obviously a great element to have here for this offense. It keeps you on your toes because it sets up read option. And right now, every team knows we're not read option in this football.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can hesitate a defensive an end and a linebacker with read option, it's going to help Zeke, Pollard, and the offensive line, right? So I'm hoping that Dak can get some confidence built because you can tell he's just not very confident in the offensive line. And that's what's forcing overthrows. That's what's forcing a lot of the mistakes that we've seen against the Broncos, against the Chiefs, and things of that sort.
Yeah. No, it's a fact. I think they gotta let him loose. If it is the staff holding him back, then let him loose. If it's Dak doing it himself, he needs to let himself loose and do what they need to do to get those yards. They're leaving meat on the bone in a lot of these drives. You know what I mean? Where if Dak would have just went ahead and ran, you're facing a short differential, a 3rd and 2 versus a 3rd and 8, you know what I mean? Or a 3rd and 13 because you get sacked. So yeah, I think they gotta turn that up, Mike. Now, interesting, when you were hearing some of Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones interviews, on 105.3 and various outlets, they kind of brought up the name Ben McAdoo. Okay, so we know Mike McCarthy brought in Ben McAdoo as an offensive consultant, a senior consultant, or whatever, kind of like a George Edwards type, right? So the fact that I'm hearing the name more, you know what I mean? I kind of feel that, and this is a guy that Mike McCarthy had a lot of success with in those, championship runs, the Super Bowl run, and this sort of thing, right? So my question to you, Mike, is, do you think that there's going to be more of the McAdoo influence in the game, in the preparing for the game, the play calling, and this sort of thing? Do you think you want to see a little bit of a change here?
I hope so, Joe, because it's the same offense we've been running for a long time. It started with Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan influence. Kellen Moore came in under the Scott Linehan influence. And I mean, some of the plays before Jason Garrett got fired that the Giants were running and the plays that the Cowboys were running were damn near identical. When we played each other, it's like, hey, when that guy goes in motion, we're going to run right behind him. And then we get the ball and we do the exact same play. I think Dan Quinn talked about he didn't do a wash and a rinse. He did a wash and a rinse, and he went through it and changed a lot of stuff up. And I think that we have to add new elements to our game plan because people, the NFC East especially, has so many years of tape on this offense it has great numbers, but those numbers haven't got us anywhere, right? Because when you start exposing playing man-to-man, when you're exposing pressure and stuff like that, the plays don't work, Joe. Too many screens, too many draws, not enough east to west plays, too many north and south plays. I think with the Ben McAdoo influence here, when people hear Ben McAdoo, they think of the Giants and that head coach and how much of a disaster that was. but they don't have the same feeling for Dan Quinn, right? Dan Quinn, Ben McAdoo, they're not set out to be head coaches. They're set out to be coordinators or teachers, and they're player-type coaches, and that's what Ben McAdoo and Dan Quinn are. And that's obviously translating for Dan Quinn on the field. Can it translate to Ben McAdoo? I think it can, but we need a new element to this offense because Kellen Moore's play calling, Joe, has been horrendous. Even in the win against the Saints, it's been nasty.
Yeah. The offense has just gotten stale. You know what I mean? Like, if really what we want to call it is that, it just looked like at times in the game struggled to move the ball. Some of it even became predictable. We talked about that with Garrett. Like, here we go, predictable crap, and some of that is you become one dimensional without the running game. So that's a big part of it. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Mario Flores, Asmodeus in the house, Michael Autry, Ray Bar, Soup Trap, obviously, Alex K, a lot of our usual guys, Marvel Group. Appreciate you guys for joining us on this Frisco Report Wednesday night edition. We're talking about the Cowboys. Everybody's confidence level, what is it? For this game, what is your confidence level on a scale of 1 to 5, Mike? If 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. What is your confidence level of the Cowboys versus Washington? Everybody in the chat box, let me know what your confidence level is.
I'm at a 2.5, Joe. I'm at a 2.5 because I haven't seen nothing from the offense except for the exception of Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper had one good catch, and that's all. I think that's really all he got was that one good catch against the Saints. So my confidence level in the offensive line, in the offensive line protection and the running game right now, it's a 2.5 for me, Joe. And I think in the first quarter, we're going to determine how this game's going to go. And so if it's 14-0 Cowboys in the first quarter, wrap it up, go home, it's done. But if it's 0-0 at the end of the first, or if it's 3-3, 7-7, if it's anywhere close during that first quarter and it looks like we're not moving nothing, my confidence level is still going to stay at a 2.5 because it's going to be one of those close games. It's going to be a lot of three. The Cowboys on third down against the Saints, Joe, against a really good defense, the Saints. I think they were 2 for 13. That's 2.5 for me all day long. The confidence just isn't there, Joe. But that could change depending on how that first quarter goes.
Yeah, I'm hovering right between 2 and 3. I'm probably right there with you, Mike, as a 2.5. But that doesn't by no means does that not mean that I don't think we can win the game. I'm just my confidence level is like you said, like how do we look at the half when you come out the half? In the beginning of the year, we were a second half team. Maybe it was close in the first half. The adjustments with the coordinators, really we would pull away and we would win. So my thing is I'm interested to see the influence here on the game plan with Ben McAdoo. Are we going to see some new or some fresh play calling here? Maybe we're going to start to see the play calls that we were holding for the NFC East guys. Maybe we didn't want to show all of our cards. I don't really buy that. I'm not big into that, but if you do see some of that here, maybe that is the case here. Maybe they're going to show some different formations, different play calls. More boots. We used to see Dak go on boots and naked bootlegs and things like that. Play action. RPO, a lot of that has been missing here in recent weeks. You know what I mean? So we get back to that. I think we'll be rocking and rolling, Mike.
Cowboys champs. I like the way he did that. Cowboys champ. Big shout out to Cowboys champ. He said defense, he gives them a 4, and the offense, he gives them a 2.
That's a good one.
100% agree with that. But I'm still 2.5 on the offense. I'm a 4 on defense. 100%. That's my confidence level.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's a good one, Cowboys. What is your guys in the chat box and in the comments? What is your confidence in the defense? Same deal, 1 to 5. I'm the same here with Cowboy champs. I go 4. I think that this defense is really going to be the difference maker in this game, and they can do it. That they can do it. They were the difference maker in that New Orleans game. That really helped us pull away. You know what I mean? Forcing the ball, forcing the fumbles, getting the takeaways. When we win the takeaway ratio, we win a lot of these games. So we're definitely gonna have opportunities here, Mike. Because we talk about Heineke, he'll turn that ball over. We just have
Yeah.
to convert touchdowns, not field goals, because I still do not trust the kicker. And somebody said it's gonna be raining. Who was it? Somebody in the comments, man. So we got fours here on the defense. Fifth quarter Cowboys says 8 through the roof. Soup trap 4 and a 3 on offense. Primetime field 7.
Fifth quarter Cowboys in the house with 8.
Yeah.
Primetime field with 7.
Asmodeus 1 to 5. I've been there we go. There we go. Fifth quarter Cowboys at the house. Make sure you guys hit up fifth quarter Cowboys.
Hit up
Really
my
good.
dog. Hit up my dog. That's my homie. That's my homie, man. But me and fifth quarter, dude, we talk every day via text or phone call, either on my lunch break or after work. Dude, the guy's so knowledgeable in the game of football. You got to subscribe to him if you haven't already. Fifth quarter Cowboys. He's in the comment section right there.
Yes, indeed. Shout out fifth quarter Cowboys. Michael Archer, yes, it's going to rain 70%, right? So that is that's a recipe for you got to establish the running game, right? When it rains, you kind of sometimes it becomes more of a running game, but there's always the issue with the wet ball. They always talk about that with Dak. Is he going to wear gloves? This kind of crap. I don't think he will. But the kicker, Mike, like we said, if you do get the takeaways, you gotta punch it in. You gotta get into the red zone. We cannot rely on Greg Pegleg. He sucks. Nobody likes him. If anybody does like Pegleg, let me know why. Because I don't, Mike. I cannot stand our kicker.
No, I don't like our kicker either. He's older. The Rams, Sean McVay didn't want him over there with the Rams. Obviously, he's a bone fossil tool, and the tool is broken. All right, so we definitely got to change that.
1980 in the house. Good to see 1980 in the house. Really good. 1980. What was that game, Mike? Where I was like, we were just all like, man, I got to see it. 1980's reaction, and I think he did.
It was a game against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Like, I got to see his reaction.
Where's 1980? Yeah, I was like, if 1980 make a video, man, that guy's pissed. And prime time feel, I do appreciate it. Supports for other people's channels, absolutely. I'm nobody, so a follower account doesn't justify anybody's actions, words, speech, whatever. If you make content, I'm gonna watch it. That's just who I am. That's the nature of the beast. But people forget that, and they think a follower account is the Bible. Follower account is nothing. It just means somebody subscribed to you because they want to hear your voice. Yeah. So definitely, I support anybody. Big shout out to Primetime Phil. I like the videos he drops. I like his man cave. I like all that. So big shout out to Primetime and Cowboys Champ. Same thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Primetime Phil, man. He's got a good channel up there. Appreciate him.
Setup.
Good setup, man. It's good. It's good to have all these content creators. Asmodeus, a fan of 1980. Yeah, man. So that's what it is. When it's a 60-yard, that's when he shows up 50% of the time, right? That's kind of like what he is. Like, is he a gimmick kicker? I feel like that's what it is. Cowboys champs, like, that kind of thing. Hopefully next season they'll move on from that. But at the end of the day, we got to. At the end of the day, we really got to show up here, man. You know what I mean? And you know what I hate? What I don't want to happen is if we lose this game and everybody acts like it's okay to lose. I hate that. Like, I don't want to lose this game. And because, Mike, you said it, like, you do that, you're going to start relying on – you're going to have to play math game, right? If we do this, we do this. If we lose this, I hate that crap. I want to be up there with the teams that like the Packers, the Cardinals, where you're coasting into the playoffs. You're beating up these guys. You don't care. You're beating the crap out of them. I don't want to play mathematics because I'm not good at it. All right.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah. Well, we got Texas education, Joe. Never good.
Shout out to Texas and the education system, baby.
They teach you the Alamo. They teach you Texas history more than they teach you mean, median, and mode. And if you don't know that, your state failed you too.
Yeah, so that's what we got to do, man. Let's see. Questions and comments, guys. Let us know if you got any questions or comments here. My question: how can Kellen Moore improve on the running game, Mike?
Hey, real quick, big shout out to 1980, his baby girl, 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Congratulations to the power man himself. He laid the power down in the bedroom. Now he has a powerific baby in the hospital that's brand new. Big shout out to Cowboy Fan 1980. Family and football. Welcome another Cowboy fan to the league. I'm happy that that's a healthy baby, 1980.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What was your question, Joe?
How can Kellen Moore improve the running game, Mike?
It all starts with the offensive line, Joe, and he can't get away from it. He can't get away from it. Tony Pollard, he's still third in the league, averaging 5.6 yards a carry. And if we have to see more Pollard instead of Zeke, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If we get in third and shorts, get the ball to Zeke. We can do that. We can do that, right?
I think Zeke's ready to feast. You know, the conversation through the week is, are you going to rest him? Do you sit your captain on the boat when you're going to go into a hurricane? No. So my thing is, you clinch the East, then you rest him. You're gonna need him. Because then the whole thing will be like, we should have played him. We screwed up. So no, this whole notion of resting Zeke, I think, is stupid. They messed up. If they were gonna do it, they should have done it. You know, the other games. Now you're in the thick of the storm. Now you can't rest him. And he himself says they're gonna have to drag him off the field. You know, if you saw his latest interview, he's ready to rock and roll. The rest has helped him, but Mike, I think you got to have that 1-2 punch, and like I said, you can't get away from it. So I think it's going to be dirty yards. You know, it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be grit yards. 2-yard, 3-yard games, but you can't fully abandon it, Mike. You're 100% right on that.
Yeah, fifth quarter Cowboys say, well, he can improve by running more, stop shying away from it because it falls a couple of times. Then you got a donation in there, Joe, by Big Country.
Yeah. Well, one more thing here on Cowboys Champs. How do you improve the running game? I think, the O-line. For me, I want to see Connor Williams back in there. And let's look at that jumbo set with McGovern at the fullback position. That was awesome. That worked really well for the Cowboys. So, that's one thing, I would like to see. And I think we're going to find out if they do that. Big Country in the house. Appreciate you, bro. Longtime supporter of the channel. Do you think this defense will start carrying this team, Mike? Big Country says he does.
They already have. They held the Chiefs to 19 points the whole game. They held the Broncos up all the way to the third quarter to what was it? 13, 19, 20-something points, something like that. And the offense failed every time. The defense coming in clutch. I think they got 17 team interceptions, a little over 16 sacks, something like that. So they've been carrying the football team, let's be honest. They really have been. So and I think they need to continue, but the offense got to capitalize on those turnovers, Joe.
Yeah, my thing about the defense is obviously it's you have a new coordinator, you've purged out a lot of some of these washed up vet players, so it's young. It is better than last year, but they're giving up a ton of yards. The thing about it with the Cowboys is if they don't get the takeaways, the defense looks then it's just Michael Parsons the only one making plays. So it's got to be more than Parsons. And I think, you're getting that with the return of D. Law. He looked so good last week. And Randy Gregory and these guys, I think they're going to have opportunities for takeaways. And I'm with you, Big Country. I think the strength of this team is slowly going to the defense. You know what I mean? The offense, that offensive line has not received any draft love in a while. It's kind of become mortal men. You know what I mean? So Offseason, fix the O line. I think they know that. I think a lot of us know that needs to happen. Some big decisions will need to be made, and they're going to have to do it. And we can't keep rocking with the same old, same old. So I'm with you, big country defense. I think that they're going to have to really step it up here with the takeaways. If they don't get the takeaways, then that's where the issues come into play here. So that's a great win there, dude. I really appreciate you, big country, in the house. Let's see what else we got in here, guys. Elmatic 7. Man, we have to have continuity on the O line. You have to show a little patience. All the turns still, yeah, and I'm with you on that. So the two changes I would like to see, and I don't know if they'll do this, is reinsert, you know,
Williams.
Connor Williams, and you're going to have to deal with some penalties there. But I think the running game will improve there, and that's what we all want the run to come back. And Terrence Steele, I think he's just a little bit more fluid, more athletic right now than LC. That's just my opinion, but I'm with you on Elmatic. Let's get with whatever they run with out there in this game is what they need to just go ahead and go the rest of the way. You know what I mean? And they can't do this weird crap where it's like one series it's McGovern and Steele, and then the next series it's Seawill and Els. That was stupid. I don't know what the hell they were thinking there. Did their headsets get hacked by the Russians? Is what I was thinking. Like, what the hell are they doing? Let's see what else we got here in the house, guys. LVE, thumbs up or thumbs down? LVE, I'm sorry, but I have to say a thumbs down on LVE. Just hasn't been an impact player. You know what I mean? He hasn't been an impact player for me. What do we? I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. Like, was it Jalen Smith that just completely take away the powers there of the tandem there? I don't know, but he has not looked. He's not looked good there, man.
He's had a neck flare up. It hasn't been the same since.
I think that's what it is. That neck. Hunt with the super chat. Appreciate you, Hunt. Do you think the offensive line is now the weak point? And if so, do you feel we need to address that early in draft or instead get another cornerback? Yeah, man. For me, the offensive line is definitely, it's the trenches. You know what I mean? I think that the continuity has been an issue there, but also, reliability, availability. This kind of stuff hurts the team, and they just need to fix it. You need a permanent fix. You know what I mean? You're plugging holes on a sinking ship there with that offensive line. You gotta, yeah. Do they go early in the draft with it? I would. I definitely would. I would have no problem getting another guard, getting another tackle. You know what I mean? I would have no problem with that at all. Cornerback. I don't think they're going to go cornerback early. From what we're hearing, Mike, they're liking what they're seeing from Kelvin Joseph. But I think this is still a red shirt year for him. He's more of a special teams guy. But I think next year he'll be in play. But yeah, man, I would go offensive line early myself, Mike.
100%. I think you have to. And this is why, because they know what they got in Connor Williams, who's in a contract year. I don't think they'll sign him unless it's for dirt cheap. They got, if the draft don't fall their way, they got Connor McGovern, who they're still evaluating at that left guard position. They know what Terrence Steele is. They know that the market cap dollars are going up. So I think Lyle Collins becomes a cheaper asset. So I think they keep him there because he's going to be a cheaper asset with the salary cap rising, Joe. So I think they pick something. I think they would leave that left guard position. But guys, remember, we got Forniak still there. We got Josh Ball still there. So they brought in pieces in this draft, right? 2 offensive linemen, a lot of defense. So don't overlook it yet. Let's evaluate these pieces, Josh Ball and Forniak and these guys. Forniak had a really good preseason.
Mm-hmm.
The development is there. That's going to solve some issues for you. Get him the red shirt year like the Cowboys are doing. Let him beef up like Connor Williams and Zach Martin and these guys have on that conditioning and health and strength and all that good stuff. And I think you don't got to go early, Joe, but it has to at least be a third or fourth round pick.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Elmatic7 with the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Has time passed to insert Kelvin Joseph second round pick over holding AB? Yeah, I think that like I said, I think they're gonna just keep on rolling with AB. You know what I mean? I think the staff is just completely sold on him. AB has had his moments, right? I think he's just more of he's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know if you want to put a rookie out there this late in the game with these critical games coming down the pipe. So, Elmatic, I think for the remainder of the season, it's going to be AB. Unless there's some sort of catastrophic injury, which we don't want, right? So, but I think year two, Joseph, I think he's going to be a major player there. I think they're going to give him a shot there. But some of these little weird little missing time here, questions on his what do you call it, being in shape. We can't have none of that stuff going into camp again. With all that, this little things. He's got to clean that up, right? So if he does that, he'll be in a good spot. He'll be in a good spot to compete. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Eric Montoya, good to see you in the house, bro. Good evening, Cowboys Nation. Joe and Mike, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Eric Montoya. I do appreciate you very much indeed. Primetime Phil in the house. Let me see. Did we miss one here, Mike? I thought we saw one. Here we go. Primetime Phil's got a good one here. Can we get a sneak peek of the studio soon? Yeah, it's still a work in progress. It's a lot of work. It's something that I've been doing on weekends and even there's some weekends where I just haven't had time to even get to it. It's all being handmade. It's gonna be awesome when I get down to it to show that off. I don't know if it'll be ready for draft coverage. I'm really hoping. It might April. I might be able to have it during draft year, but yeah, that's coming along good. Love your NFC East tournament reference. Yeah, man, it's been what I've been calling for the last couple of weeks, right? NFC East tournament, knock 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em. That's what it is. Sign one, Gallup or Gregory, Mike? This is a great question from Primetime Phil, Mike. I'll let you take this one here first. Who do you sign if you only have one choice, Mike? Gallup or Gregory?
Gregory. Michael Gallup, he makes awesome catches, the tiptoe swag, but Gregory brings a whole other element to this defense when he's just not suspended, when he's not injured, right? It's just you can't replace guys like Gregory. He was a top tier talent coming out of the draft. And what was it, 2016? Did we draft him in 2016 or was it 2015? I think it was 2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah. So, he was top tier talent in 2015 and it just hasn't panned out due to suspensions and with all that. But, he has a kid now. He grew up and I would like to see him play consistently with the star on his helmet, not just 1 year when things are going right. So, Michael Gallup, if I had to pick one, it's going to be Gregory. Michael Gallup, he can be a number one wide receiver in the league. He's still developing, I think. He didn't show up as much as I want him to when Lamb and Cooper was out. And when those guys were out, Gallup wasn't there for us. So neither was Dalton Schultz. But when you have Coop and you have Lamb and you can get you a good, decent number three, I think the offense, it stays the same or gets better. I don't think taking Michael Gallup away hurts this offense.
Yeah. And I'm with you on that. I'm going with Gregory. That's really a premium position is your lineman, offensive line, defensive line, the guys that go after the quarterback, right? So for me, it would be Gregory. Gallup. I just don't see the Cowboys going with another big contract on a wide receiver. They're going to have Lamb here in a few seasons, and the years go by so damn quick. So by the time we're already on the Lamb, literally looking for a new contract. So Gregory, for me, like I said, now the thing about Gregory, they gotta be smart with the contract. He is a little bit older, obviously, doesn't have much tread, but still the internals, testosterone, this sorts of thing. You do have to take that to play. He got dinged up here. He's had the knee. I still think the knee's gonna have to get scoped out. He had that knee flare up a couple times during the season. And he's dealing with the calf strain, so they gotta be smart with the Gregory contract. But for him to get that bag, we need more from him. He's got to get more sacks this stretch. So maybe his contract goes up $1 million per sack. So if he can get up into the 12 or 13 range, maybe you're looking at that. But I don't think they're going to break the house on him. It's not going to be a $20 million, $18 million, contract from Gregory. If it is, that's not going to be smart by the Cowboys. So play it smart, and I'll love having Gregory back. But that's a great question by Primetime Phil. Appreciate you, bro. Who's getting the franchise tag? Franchise tag numbers. I had them I did a video on some of those, and they've gone up obviously, but like Mike said, the cap is going up. Would there be anybody I would franchise tag? It might get interesting when you talk about Connor Williams. I think if you think about somebody that could be under consideration for give me one more deal out of, it might be him. It might be Connor. I don't think you're going to give it to a tight end, although you might, because the franchise tag for a tight end isn't that much. I think it's going to be like $8 million or something like that, $7 million, something like that. And I think that's kind of the range that Dalton Schultz might get a contract at. I think his range is going to be 7 to 8 per year. If they franchise tag him, that they might do that, but I don't think they'll do it with Gallup, because that's going to be a $20 million. The franchise tag for the wide receiver is like 19 or 20. That's big money. I don't see them doing that, Mike.
I don't know, Joe. I don't know. It all depends on how the free agency turns out, and if the Randy Gregory contract gets sticky, and he don't like incentive-based contracts, and they need one more year to work those kinks out. I could see the Cowboys easily franchising a guy like Randy Gregory. I don't know if you go offensive line there because of Farniak and Josh Ball and all the other guys that you got in here, and you still the guy from Mexico, Alacran, so who's still developing. So I don't know if they go franchise tag on the offensive line or tight end, because they're liking what McEwen is bringing to the tight end position. Mm-hmm. So I think if I was going to use a franchise tag, it might be on Randy Gregory if they have a hard time, Joe, getting those details in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, but that's ways away. We're getting kind of deep in the weeds here with the franchise tag conversation. But Marvel and Group, let's get back to this game action here. This is hilarious. Crypto
he must follow me on Twitter.
He calls you Crypto Mike. I love it. Crypto Mike. Tristan Hill will gator roll one of the key starting players on Sunday. Will he?
He might. He might.
Tristan
There's
Hill
no guarantee that he won't, Joe.
Yeah, Tristan Hill, he's got some nastiness to him. I gotta give him that, but just don't cost us any stupid penalties. But I'm fine with the stuff he does, because we get it done to us. You know what I mean? We can't let that crap slide. That shit happens to us, so give it back. Give it back. Let's go.
Oh, and if you need, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you want some crypto knowledge, hit me up on Twitter.
Let's see what else we got here, guys. I think that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Great show. Great comments in the chat box. Great super chats. Appreciate all you guys. Like I said, let's get this win and let's make a run. Let's make a run. You know what I mean? Like this has got to be it. This is it. If these guys don't show up good here or come out half-assed, we're not going to do anything. I want to see a competitive team. I want to see a win. I want to see us stay in it, all 4 quarters. And that'll really, really, give us the momentum that you need in December. Take that into the playoffs. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, bro.
Absolutely. _Cowboys Corner on Twitter, guys. Like I said, if you want some crypto advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can put you in the right direction. Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube is up to you if you want to subscribe, guys. Remember, follow account ain't nothing but a number. Don't let all these other big tubers. If you want to debate somebody, debate them. Your voice matters. Don't let some people think follower count is something to go by the Bible. It's not.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight's show. Make sure you guys pound that like button on your way out. If you're watching this on the replay, hit that like button, and you can also catch this on the audio. We're still, if you guys remember, we still have the audio, so you can follow us on Spotify. If you want to hear us in the gym, we always have that available for all you guys. So Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, or this podcast is available in the audio format on those outlets. So make sure you guys check those out, subscribe to those as well. But that's all we have tonight, guys. We'll see you for the next one. Go Cowboys, baby.
On one side, but that guy on the other.
Cowboy, baby. Right, bro?
That's right.